How's it going, IO? In this video, we're going to get into reports that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have split up, Amber Heard is being sued yet again, and Spider-Man fans are turning on Tom Holland, all because of one clip that's been making the rounds on social media. So Harry and Meghan are rumored to be going through a trial separation right now, which was said to have been brought on by countless fights over business failures and clashing lifestyles. The news.com PK quoted a source revealing that they are currently not together, and saying that Harry needs to go off and find himself. So a trial separation might be the only way that they can resolve their differences and go forward stronger than ever. A source who spoke to the National Enquirer said that their marriage and public image have been adversely impacted by nasty fights with his family and the ongoing feud with their family. Apparently the couple had been under tremendous financial pressure to fund their lavish California lifestyle. That stress, coupled with their emotional issues, has likely made life a living hell and pushed them to this separation. According to the news platform, Meghan had reportedly been staying in their Montecito mansion with the children, while Harry is said to be heading to Africa to film a documentary for Netflix. The idea is that he'll try to rejuvenate himself overseas and get away from it all, while Meghan hopes to rebuild her image and dive back into the world of Hollywood so she can establish her own brand. To add to that, an anonymous tipster told Dumois that the two of them had sold their mansion in Montecito and that Harry was living in another place. But as usual with all of these reports floating around about their relationship and possible divorce, we need to take it with a grain of salt. When it comes to Meghan and Harry, the rumor mill seems to be working overtime, and it's very easy to read stories about them that are not at all based in fact. No wonder that an inside source close to the couple has now hit back at the reports. They spoke to Page 6 and said that the rumors of any kind of breakdown in the marriage are completely inaccurate. They said it's not true and it's literally made up. But there are a few things about this that we do know to be true. For one, Harry is understood to be heading to Africa solo to work on his new Netflix documentary. And last month, the couple's $20 million deal with Spotify came to an end before their Archetypes podcast could see a second season. It was later reported that Meghan and Harry did not hold up their end of the bargain when it came to pumping out content. A source close to the situation told the Post that the Archwell Media Company didn't produce enough episodes to receive the full payout of the $20 million deal. Spotify was also said to be unhappy at the pace in which the couple was working to create these new episodes. Since signing the deal in December of 2020, they failed to produce any solid programming until the Archetypes podcast 2 years later. As for Meghan and Harry's relationship, well, there have been breakup rumors floating around for several weeks now. In June, Lady Colin Campbell, a prominent British author and socialite, and claimed that there had been problems in the marriage supposedly for quite some time. She said, "I have heard from 5 totally reliable sources that Harry called in the lawyers some months ago, and also if there are real problems in the marriage, which there do appear to be, Harry's going to have a heck of a time extricating himself because he has been very overt about all of his failings. If a divorce were to happen, she thinks that he's not in a very good position legally in terms of preserving his position and getting custody of the children." Around the same time, other reports came out alleging that Harry had been spending time alone in 2 different hotels, one near his home in Montecito and another one in LA. Sources that spoke to The Sun claim that he used these as escape suites where he goes to get away from his family home. One is a room kept on standby for him at a leading hotel chain in Montecito, where he apparently stays occasionally without Meghan. His second option is a lot more exclusive. It's a private members club in LA where he is known to stay after going to Barry's boot camp nearby. Of course, the insinuation is that he goes to these places to escape his wife, either because he just needs some time alone like we all do sometimes, or because his marriage is actually crumbling. Although that does sound a bit far-fetched considering how massive his Montecito home really is. I mean, the property is over 18,000 square feet with 9 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a tennis court, a guest house with 2 bedrooms, and a tea house. So really there is plenty of spaces to go if either Harry or Meghan need some time away from each other. Alright, now it looks like there is more trouble for Amber Heard. It was believed that the ordeal between Amber and Johnny Depp ended with their infamous lawsuit, but now it looks like she is once again facing legal issues following the outcome of the trial. As we know, their 2 legal teams eventually settled the amount which Amber owed, and it turned out to be as much as $15 million. It wasn't long after that she eventually moved to Spain with her daughter to get back on her feet, but now she is once again dealing with legal issues. Her insurance company, New York Marine and General Insurance Co., refuses to drop their case against her. They've already worked out a deal with Depp's team, so she really wants the insurance company to drop their case. Their lawsuit started after she demanded that they pay a portion of the fees that she owed to Johnny Depp, and even though they acknowledged that she had a $1 million liability policy, one that does cover defamation, there's a provision that they're using against her. Specifically, they claim that they're not liable if she is found to have willfully committed the wrongful conduct. Even now that the amount she owed him is settled, the company are still refusing to drop the case. Amber pleaded with the judge recently and said that there is nothing left to dispute. Her lawyers filed a legal document saying currently New York Marine faces no real or threatened economic harm from Ms. Heard, and she has withdrawn her claim for indemnity and is not seeking any defense costs from New York Marine unless and until this court's dismissal order is reversed on appeal. But the insurance company refuses to dismiss their claims. So this whole thing is probably becoming a massive headache for her. It's just another way that she's not able to put last year's events behind her. She is trying her best though, and that's pretty obvious. Amber has a new indie film coming out called In the Fire. She attended the 69th Taormina Film Festival in Italy to support the premiere. It was her first proper public appearance since the conclusion of the trial. She was rocking old Hollywood glamour with her hair styled in tight curls that fell around her shoulders and bold red lipstick. She walked the red carpet in a long black dress that featured a belt across her waist. She did several interviews about the project and she actually managed to hype it up quite a lot. Amber said it's a beautiful movie about the almost supernatural effect and force of love. It's about the boundaries that love can cross and its creation, and really about the overwhelming power that love has. She went on to say, I don't want to sound cheesy about it, but it is a movie about love. If you're interested in seeing it, Amber plays a pioneering psychiatrist who sets out to treat a desperate child at a time when psychiatry is not yet a respected science. The press release states that the film is set in 1899 and it follows a 38-year-old American psychiatrist as she arrives on a rich farm in Colombia after being called to solve the case of a disturbed child. This comes after increasingly insistent accusations that the child is the devil. Quote, while the woman tries to psychoanalyze the child, the nefarious events intensify and her cure becomes a race to save the little boy from the fury of his fellow citizens, and perhaps even from himself. In the Fire director Connor Orlin also attended the premiere and he was clearly very proud of his project and happy to have worked with Amber Heard. So with all things considered, this might be the way that she plans to gradually get back into the spotlight and Hollywood itself. It's also been reported that she wants to share her truth in a tell-all memoir, where she would lay bare the details of the 2-year marriage to Johnny and their bitter court battle. Apparently she would be looking for around $15 million for her story, although we don't yet know which publishing houses she might be in talks with. An inside source recently spoke to Radar Online and said that she won't be silenced. Quote, she feels she was treated very badly during the trial. She feels like she's a victim here. So it seems like she is well and truly ready to speak out after last year's events. As we know, both actors made serious allegations against each other while taking the stand, which is partly why the public became so invested in their legal battle. In that same report by Radar, an anonymous insider offered a quote about the possible book, saying, while the jury ruled that both celebrities were guilty of defamation, it does seem like the court of public opinion came down hard on Amber Heard. This might be part of the reason she feels she was treated so poorly and wants to share her perspective. So we'll just have to wait and see if this book actually comes to fruition, or if she chooses to share her platform in another way. Now, why are some people coming after Tom Holland and leaving nasty comments under his videos? Well, the short answer is homophobia. Spider-Man fans are up in arms for a scene that he did in the crowded room. Tom was playing the lead character Billy Milligan, who in 1975 was arrested for armed robbery and SA of 3 people on the campus of Ohio State University. After being incarcerated, Billy reportedly engaged in sexual activities with other men, which is something that is depicted in the crowded room. In the scene, Tom enters a queer nightclub wearing a black shirt with black eyeliner. He then meets a random guy in the club and then hooks up with him against a wall. It's just a regular scene that represents the true story of a real person. But of course, when the episode came out, people were quick to share this clip around and make fun of Tom for participating in a scene like that with another man. The backlash spread across social media like wildfire. Under photos and videos of him, you'll see comments speculating about his sexuality and hashtags like "not my Spider-Man." For whatever reason, it feels like there is genuine outrage about this, which is really strange, given that the other Spider-Man actors like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have also played queer characters over the years, and they didn't get half as much criticism for it. And even if the other actors hadn't played these characters, Tom still has a right to take whichever roles he likes. That's what acting is all about. I mean, it's literally walking in other people's shoes and being someone that you're not. Unfortunately, this series really took a toll on his mental health too. After shooting, he said that he was taking the following year off from acting to aid in his mental recovery. In a video interview with Extra, he talked about the strenuous production of the series and just how much it affected him even when the filming was over. He said, "It was a tough time for sure. We were exploring certain emotions that I have definitely never felt before. And then on top of that, being a producer, dealing with the day-to-day problems that come with any film set just added that extra level of pressure." breakup. Juggling 2 roles on one production while playing a character in a severe mental state pushed him past his breaking point. He said, "The show did break me. There did come a time when I needed a break and disappeared and went to Mexico for a week and had a time on the beach and laid low. I'm now taking a year off, and that is a result of how difficult this show was." He admitted that it took him a while to fully shake off the character, even after the series wrapped filming. In the end, working on the show forced him to re-examine his own mental health. He said, "Learning about mental health and the power of it, speaking to psychiatrists about Danny and Billy's struggles, has been something that has been so informative in my own life." Tom said that he's become better at recognizing his own triggers and stresses, especially with certain things like social media. Even though the project had a positive impact on him, the heavy subject matter was difficult to deal with. So it's good that he's now able to take the time that he needs to work on his mental health. What do you guys think about this news story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.